You know what leads me to believe that there is a suppressment of enlightenment, of consciousness, of education is the fact that you have places like Detroit with a 47% illiteracy rate. You got places in New York where they're still reading textbooks that were written 30, 40 years ago that are out of date. You have places, you know what I'm saying, in our country, in the country of America that prides itself on being one of the smartest countries, one of the most fastest developing, you know what I'm saying, unions, communities, or whatever to exist on this planet. Yet within our own home, we have people who can't read, which is in turn breeding more people forth who can't read, correct? Now, things like this don't make it into our mainstream, master media, such as your ABC News and your CNNs and all that stuff. If anything, it's printed in your local newspaper or something. That's if anybody even reads that anymore, right? Now, what leads me to further believe this is okay, we give some books to Britain, it's on CNN, it's on the news, it's the master, it's the thing of the day or the week or whatever, right? But you don't hear about the fact that people here can't read. A lot of people don't know there's a shitload of homeless people sleeping right around the White House, right around your Washington Monument. You come off the subway thinking you're about to go to the Smithsonian and have a great time, and there's a black guy right down there at the bottom of at the top of the fucking escalator with a fucking plastic big gulp in his hand, shaking the fucking cup and shit. Come to DC, find out for yourself, right? Now, things like that lead me to believe there's a suppressment of enlightenment, of consciousness, of you know what I'm saying, this progression. What further leads me to believe this is the fact that nature is being outlawed. Products of nature, things that have been on this planet since before humans, are being outlawed. That the fact that humans think they can come forth, right? Take a piece of paper and then write on this piece of paper and say, oh, these plants are illegal. Now, let me put into context how dumb this is. You're taking a piece of paper, which was a what? A tree at one point in time. A plant, a product of the earth, correct? Then you're going to turn it into this thing called paper that us human beings decide that we write our manuscript on. Now, within this manuscript and this language, we have these things called laws. Now, we think that we can take this piece of paper, which was an original product of nature, and write with it on it this ink and say that trees such as hemp and marijuana and mushrooms and these ayahuasca plants and these different little plants and these different things that cause enlightenment and betterment of consciousness, they're going to say on this piece of paper, no, you can't do that. And then they expect people to just go with it. I think the fact of producing law is dumb as fuck and just shows the true adolescence of humanity through the fact that we think that just because one guy has been like, hey, don't do that, everyone's not going to do it. The thing is, you have to realize there should only be one law, and it's the most natural law ever. Just don't fuck with anybody else. Plain and simple. Just don't kill the guy next to you. Just don't, or don't overconsume within your means. Don't overstep, you know what I'm saying, what should be your shit. And don't try to go around owning things that you can't own. Why? I find it so fucking retarded that people are buying stars and buying airspace and all this type of shit. Native Americans, even when the white man first came over here and put up a fence, Native Americans was like, what the fuck is this? And when white people were like, hey, that's trespassing, they were like, what the hell is trespassing? How can I trespass when you don't own this shit? Same thing with gangbangers, right? People gangbanging in the city, talking about this my block, this my street, blah, blah, blah. You don't own that fucking street, dude. The fucking government can come through and level that shit the fuck out. with or without your consent. Oh yeah, you can take a petition and all that, but at the end of the day, they own that shit. And then at the end of the day, they don't really fucking own that shit either. Because how can you just fucking okay? You can plant roots. You can, you know what I'm saying, build an establishment, but truly, you don't really own the land. You know what I mean? This stuff is outlived us. It's outdated us. It's way here before us. And when we die, the fucking trees are gonna grow through the bottom of our houses. They're gonna grow through. They're gonna grow on top of our cars. They're gonna grow through the cement, and they're gonna cover this shit the fuck up. And it's gonna be like it was never here. And then guess what? Just like we did with the dinosaurs, and we dig all into the dirt, and we go, "Oh my goodness, there was something here before us. Oh, that's great, yeah." And the trees are sitting there laughing at us like, oh, these fucking idiots don't even realize that, yeah, we just kind of like covered up our murder scheme. um, fucking, you know, the next society is going to land here, dig us up, and find like certain shit and stuff and be like, okay, yeah, these people are cool, whatever. But at the end of the day, yo, it's the fucking plants that run this shit. We are on a planet. Take the E out. We're on a plant. So that's the simplest way to put it. Fucking, I just think a lot of shit is fucked up.